Good morning, everybody. Windy City Live, which, by the way, I think that used to be a show here in Chicago. But I am live. This is Windy City Thetan Watch. Welcome if you're on the replay crew. Please don't forget to try to comment. Like if you're in the live crew. Like if you can, if you feel it's appropriate. See if we can spread the news. So today I am starting at the corner of Jackson and State Street. We're looking northeast at this point. That building is a DePaul University building. I believe it's a classroom building, and then there's dormitories on top. And then this is also part of the DePaul University. Again, on the bottom floor, there's a Barnes & Noble. There's several restaurants down here. I think that it's also classroom up above in that building. And then this is our view down north on Michigan Avenue. And south, you might be able to see the library on the right-hand side there. What else do we have here? If any of you early arrivers, if the sound's good, let me know. I'd appreciate that. I'm going to walk to Plymouth only because I just think it's a neat view walking down that street. So you can kind of see the railroad tracks, the L tracks above us, as well as, there's a couple of very old, like 1970s restaurants here. There's a rooftop restaurant here. We're walking along the UIC Law Building on our left. This used to be John Marshall Law School. I think the UIC acquired that recently. The building where you see Spring and the Joy at Garrett's Popcorn, so I can smell that strong right now. And this is an athletic social club, Chicago. It's got the word Chicago and the word Union, and I can't remember exactly what it is. But it's a fraternity type organization. And we're seeing the other side of the library, right? Hitting the Plymouth restaurant. I hope everything except for the odor is okay, Ellie. Thank you, Jeff. Morning, Misfit. Or afternoon. Wait, it is morning. Yeah. Today I did a little bit of editing and I posted a short. It was an interview that Trashy V12 BMW had. I think it was this weekend. It might have been late last week. Trashy's usually out there in the evening, so he gets a lot more of the publics who are doing their services after work. There's a siren coming by. Sorry about that. But it was the one where the gentleman said that the sole purpose of Scientology is to end wars and stop drugs. Now we got to go get new foods. And in the video, I show Scientology's records on war. They are 32-0 since 1955. I'm sorry, 0-32. They have yet to stop a war or do anything in regards to helping stop a war. But they're an organization that likes to steal valor, and since nobody's going to fact check you, why not say we stop wars? Good morning, Fuzzy. This is another one where maybe my clientele is senior enough to recognize this, but there used to be an old TV show. It only ran for 2 seasons. It was with Patrick McGowan as a prisoner in a land where everybody's identity was stolen. And I thought about that when Jeff PTS did it. So it was the show was called The Prisoner, and it was with Patrick McGowan, and he decided to leave a CIA-like organization And when he did that, he was somehow, I don't know, kidnapped, abducted, and put into this village where everybody is just numbered, and he's number 6. And PTS Jeff had an interview with Natalie yesterday, and they talked about the idea that one of the things that the organization does very well is it steals your identity. It makes you feel like you're just one of the Borg, right? That was one of the analogies they used this morning, that you've been assimilated by the Borg. And I want to create a short, I think I even want to create a long form on that to kind of just parallel how the prisoner, and the thing about the prisoner is he's the only one that realizes he's in a fictitious place, a matrix, a prison, Scientology cult. He's the only one who realizes it, but everybody else that's in the village, they feel that this is their life and they're comfortable with it. And since their identity has been stolen, they're just there to make sure that the village runs well, right? And Scientology has that ability to, they're just keeping you there and making you feel good about the idea that you're adding value to the group and that there's some presupposition that this group does good. And I will say this group does activity, but in no way does it do good on that process. So look for that. Does anybody in the chat, does anybody remember the show, The Prisoner? Now we're on Dearborn. Again, the boutique hotel over here. Melly's Diner. We've just walked past, or we're about to walk past Gino's. Gino's is open for lunch. I've had some of the subscribers send me emails more about Jessica, and who is the staff member who escorted somebody away from me one day when they were leaving the org, and looks to be that she was in a relationship. She might not be anymore. She was posting on a guy's channel that seemed to be that they were in a relationship. One of the theories is that, right, as she turned toward Scientology, he turned away. Yeah, thank goodness. Again, we're on Dearborn. We'll go past Federal. Soon enough, you guys are all going to know these streets. Still pretty chilly out here. We might still get a little bit of sun, so that'll be nice as we're over on Clark. But when that sun goes away, it'll be really chilly here. I think it was 38 degrees, feels like 31 when I left my last client. We might get up to 50 this week. That would be nice. Yes, she was out 2D. And I think that the first course I saw from her might be 2019. So it's not like she's started this week. Member. I am finding out a little bit more about that the financial org that her boss works for. And again, her boss has done several Scientology courses. I meant to put that. I'm probably going to do that as a post. I'll post some of the people in that org and the courses that they've taken. And when I say that org, that financial group, I'd be interested to know if their clients would be happy to know the fictitious beliefs that its owner has, and they're giving this guy money to invest with. So now maybe they believe in Xenu. Come past Pat's, Subway, Dunkin'. The Scientology door looks open now. Let's see how long that lasts. Nope. We've lost somebody halfway in Scientology, or in Dunkin'. I'm curious about the garbage can that's been out here. So this garbage can was not out here for the weeks before the opening and since the opening. But for the last maybe 3 or 4 days, I've seen that garbage can there. Let's see, do we have police today? Looks like somebody's sitting there. You can see somebody's knee there. Up. They either knew I was coming or they've already had their morning visit by some of us protesters. You might not be able to see this, but right, this is a very wrinkled blind. This would not pass the white glove test, so they are not ship shape there. No CSP there, right? Clean ship program, clean ship project. Yeah, the blinds on the lower levels definitely closed. Lights are on. As I look up from here, I don't have a great angle, but there's blinds down for the first 2 or 3 floors up there. Door still open. They have nicely hidden the all are welcome sign. So their marketing is not strong. The one advantage you have of retail space is the free advertising you get about all of your wares that you can put in the window and all the welcoming signs you're going to have out. And my hope is that it's the protesters and I that are helping shut that down. But it doesn't make sense that why do you hide this stuff, right? It is not a welcoming or inviting process to have those people or to have everything hidden from passersby, right? You're not going to accidentally find anybody that way. Didn't look like there was too much activity out front, so I'm going to just take a view of the alley real quick, see if there's any activity going on there. Again, in this cold weather, I don't know if a body router could object to saying, hey, I don't want to go out in the cold or not. But I can tell you that we're not seeing an awful lot of foot traffic. There wouldn't be a good reason for body routers to be out here or to passing out pamphlets. Now, they probably are knocking on doors to try to get themselves into the college dorms and the classroom lobbies. Yeah, we have no real activity down here. This garbage can was a blowdown. Actually, that garbage can doesn't belong there, so it must have been blown. It was probably blown quite a ways. I'm sad I don't get to play the blind game today. This is the college's loading dock that this vehicle is coming out of. So you're seeing the college loading dock door go back down. Not much really going on in there. I'm not sure if their security is third party or if they're hired and that they would leave vehicles in there, but those definitely look like civilian vehicles. Nothing really here. They have gotten rid of the packaging for their new computer. I wonder if that white smear there was vandalism or something. Just so we're clear, I in no way endorse any illegal activity against the church. I'm going to stay on my side of the line, so I'm not proposing that anybody go and vandalize that. Oh. Sorry. Oh, wait. I should have given you guys a warning. There's a permanently resting rat sitting right behind Scientology. Yeah, Terry, it's more often than not, they'll open the blinds with the opening of the building, so at the 9:30 hour. And if I come by, the blinds come down. Now, on St. Patrick's Day, it was funny. They were very schizophrenic. They brought the blinds down and then decided to put them back up. Called the police. The police weren't going to give them any relief because there was no cause of action. And as soon as the police left, they brought the blinds back down. So I don't know what the messaging is. As I was saying yesterday, Aaron has mentioned that they don't broadcast to all orgs, beware of protesters and do this. It's really only the orgs that are getting protests because they don't want to alert other orgs that protests might occur, right? Because they're a perfect organization. And Terry, I'm going to go with that you're a local. It is such a beautiful day out here, except for the temperatures. Yeah, no doubt. Now, the good news was, well, St. Patty's Day was a pretty frigid day as well. Up. We've got people, so the two people in the black coat ahead of me, as well as a person that just crossed the street, I think we're going to find out their org. And is our tall suit on the opposite side org as well? Right, so we've got the three orgs that just walked in, or three staffers that just walked in. Understood. I grew up in the suburbs, and I always thought that the city was a nice place to visit on occasion, but too busy and too crowded, and I didn't come down much when I was a suburbanite. Now that I'm a city person, I don't understand these suburbanites. Um, with this, my hope is that their opinion of me all the time is they're pissed at me. So, good day at the org. Yeah. Have fun at the cult. Try and protect the rapists. There was a wave and a look at a watch. No idea how to interpret that. I wonder if this is a shift change, if noon is a shift change. It's a cult. You're supporting rape. You're supporting child abuse. Are you happy to support the rapists? Are you happy to support child trafficking, human trafficking? That's saving the world? Thank you for the reminder, Fluffer. All right, so now that I see this, I think noon is a big day too. Oh, door tech is on. We want to hide. Make sure you work in the shadows. Don't let the public see you're here. Yep. I think you just missed the open door. You might have to knock. Have fun at the cult. Another day to figure out how to support the child trafficking and the rapists. Tell me how you're saving the world. You're a good communicator, right? Well, maybe she's not a good communicator. Or maybe they're not saving the world. But I definitely think that's important, right? That so 11:45 definitely seems like a high traffic time for the people to come in. Today, I don't have my sign with me. It's not that easy to always be hauling it around. And again, there's a part of me that half the time I want to rail against the staffers, and the other half I just want to remind them there's help anytime you want out. Now, what's really strange, I've been speaking about this financial investment company. Yeah, yeah. The financial investment company, I think it's Dreammakers Experience, something like that. At some point, I'll actually remember to put that on a post in the chat. But both the father and the son have both been subjects of a Mike Rinder blog. The father was basically on the idea that helping with the financial crimes, and then the son on going into that the son had joined the org or joined staff. Sorry, I've been conflating those two for most of this live. Sorry about that. But with the son, Rinder had noted that these people are so indoctrinated, right? They're believers at the early stages. This church really makes you believe that they're solving the problems of the world. And again, just a reminder, I posted the short earlier today, and it was when Trashy was able to interview a public here last week, and it was very funny. The public, the public, it started out as how auditing works, and the public said, hey, you don't know anything, you don't know what you're talking about. But then the public said, listen, here's why Scientology exists. It ends wars and it stops drugs. And their record since 1955 is 0-32 in stopping wars. There have been 32 wars or civil wars, rebellions since 1955. Scientology has stopped none of them. The other one is that, yeah, they stop drugs. However, the very first thing that you do in Scientology, right, is the purification rundown. And the purification is, let me give you 5,000 milligrams of niacin, 100 times the safe daily average that most doctors will recommend. So we do believe in drugs when they fit our narrative, but we don't believe in drugs if other people think that it's helpful or safe to use. So people that are struggling with mental disorders, too bad. Let them struggle through, right? Why should we help them when there's scientific evidence that shows that we're solving that? So scientific, and you see the Scientology, there's scient in there, but they have no understanding of what science is or what facts are. Um, have there been any reports? I haven't been watching YouTube this morning. Have there been any reports on how D.O.A. fared at the restraining order hearing this morning? Or is it that it's dark 30 in the morning in California still? Yeah, agreed. I don't know if sometimes I had this discussion earlier today. That do they come just so that they don't get noticed, and then they quickly change into Scientology, the uniforms? Now, the other side of that is that some of them are publics, and they just aren't going to be in uniforms. This one I think is funny because, well, funny, tragic, right? L. Ron Hubbard is so protective of his precious members that he let his wife go to jail. Thanks, Fuzzy. That'll be interesting. I think that there will be people showing up. Yeah, hopefully Jacob is out there. I do think that they'll get volume of people in the courtroom. I'm not sure what that does other than to give notice that people care, right? There's voting in Chicago this week, and as we like to say, elections are won by those who show up, right? Yeah, this one is really, really interesting, right? So if we think about some of the people who have LBGTQ identifications, that how long they had to suffer, right? Nora was, well, I won't say forced to marry, but I'm sure that there was this, hey, you have to practice being straight, and part of practicing being straight is you marry an opposite gendered person. The other one that's really amazing here is that there's the Nation of Islam, but in addition to Nation of Islam, there are just what I would imagine random people of color in here. And we know that in the earliest writings of L. Ron Hubbard, people of color were degraded humans. And it's like, wait, the founder of your church said you're degraded, but you want to go all in here? That doesn't sound right. I'm going to bring this back up for just a second. I do believe that they have revised some of those early editions so that it no longer says that some of these items are no longer mentioned in these books. Now, it's the same thing as saying there's no such thing as RPF and there's no such thing as the, what was the messengers group, the commanders group, right? Hey, we've dissolved that. However, we do all those things. We've dissolved fair gaming. However, we still do all the things in fair gaming. So whether or not they rewrite it doesn't really matter. They still think it and they still act it. The other one I'll ask, and this might be a little bit easier for the, thank you. Thank you. Windy is stupid. Thank you, Lori. Windy has a weak memory, I'll say. Yeah. Yeah. This is another one. And we, on Sunday, my friend and I liked that video, putting it together. We were able to contact 42, 43 people, I think. There were 43 people that passed by while we were out here. And we were able to mention, we kept track of who was in favor of the church and who wasn't. By the way, there were 0 in favors. And we also kept track of the number of people that we let know that a Scientologist is not allowed to talk to civilian authorities about crimes that were committed by other Scientologists. and additionally that they force or they coerce abortions, right? They don't. I don't know that they force them, but they probably put enough pressure on that it seems like being forced in that space. What I was saying before, what I really would love to do, and I don't know how I can get enough of an audience because we probably need more X's to be watching. I would like to know who, I'd like to give names to the people that we're seeing enter the org as staffers. I can make up names for each of them, like we did with Barbie, but I'd just like to know who they are because it's easier to have a personal connection with somebody when you can call them by their name. So, thank you, Fuzzy. I appreciate that. It's really strange. I don't know. Do I like doing editing? Which, by the way, the answer to that is mostly no. I like the idea of editing. I don't like doing editing. Yeah. So these cameras have been here since before the org opened. It's in the shade right now, so I don't know if you can see it, but you can see the white narrow. Looks like a telescope. That one, and then on the other, just above the other entrance, is the same thing. And I'm sure those are incredibly high def. They can tell when I have acne or not in this process, and they've got the same cameras exist in the back, so they've got that going there. Now there was tell that the Columbia camera might have been placed by Scientology. Not at all true. That oh, this is scary. This church supports child trafficking. Have a feeling we might see them go around back. Yes, and sorry about that. Oops, sorry. That I think her real name is Brianna. So look at that. Scientology doing good. They're helping with litter. So is this off shifting that we're seeing right now? I'm gonna go across the street real quick. If the traffic, usually the street's pretty busy. All right, that's pretty strange that the first person that left here went into the imprint building. Let's see if the next two do as well. So is this one of the ways that Scientology is paying for, or did those people already live there and Scientology then recruited? But it's disturbing to see that presence, right? So either way, I don't love it. But they're either residences of, oh, you know what else it might be? It might be that they just park cars. So this building has a garage. Most residential buildings in Chicago only let you park there if you're a resident. It might be that they have garage privileges here. They don't necessarily have to be residents. Oops. Yeah, I think what I'm going to do is do a bunch of clips of all the distinct faces that I do have, so that we can start something like that. And again, you know, I'm a dumb male of a prior century. Um, I would liken it to baseball cards, right? Buy a donkey for showing up, Dragonfly. I have family relations in South Africa. My understanding is South Africa has a pretty good presence with Scientology as well. I don't know if they're an accepted religion in South Africa or not. But I do know that they have a strong presence there. I'll say that South Africa has a troubled history with um, apartheid, and there still is, a noticeable segregation of populations. And I do think that it's condensed in those. I think Cape Town has one. I would imagine that there's an org in either Pretoria or Joburg, and potentially Bloemfontein as well. So I think this is in relation to South Africa. So, then in that situation, they're at least a charity, if not a religion. Nice. Are the union buildings Pretoria? The union buildings are Pretoria, right? Oh yeah, Joburg has the big tower.
How many people are alive?
There's about 20 right now. So, and I forgot your name.
I'm L.
L. I remember you were there with Israel yesterday, or last time we were out. So.
No, it'll be a big protest today or something.
No, we're pretty much just always, because the more they don't have their windows open, the more they don't have their doors open, the less likely they're going to pull people in. So it's mostly just to thwart their efforts to recruit new folk.
Yeah, they're handing out flyers today.
Were they?
Yeah.
If you can do me a favor, if you can email, well, definitely give me a flyer. But anytime you see that happening, if you could email me, because I can get over here very quickly. If I follow them around, it makes it so much harder for them to pass that out.
We were walking to class, and they came up and just, ran after us. And it's for you. It's for you.
Yeah.
Probably still on.
And they're all, is it admit one, Dianetics? Usually it's Dianetics or a personality test.
I think it's a personality test.
Yeah. Because the other one they're going to do is they're going to set up tables over at the Metra and Grant Park and all of that.
Yeah.
So, anyway, Tony. You have a great day. But again, Windy City ThetanWatch, if you can email me anytime that you see them doing that, I can be over here very quickly.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
Let me get your email.
It's going to be Windy City ThetanWatch.
1 second.
Yep.
Windy City.
Thetan, TheTan.
What is it? BHT?
THE. Sorry, Windy City Thetan. TheTan.
TAN.
Watch.
Watch.
At Gmail.
Got it.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course. Have a good one.
So that was that person happens to be Israeli national, and he was out here when Israel was out. So they share a common heritage. So are you doing website? So do you have that domain? You know, it's a cult, right? Have fun at the cult.
I've done it before. It's good. It's a good place to be.
Yeah, it is at the lower level, right? And then wait till you get to the child trafficking and the money laundering. Yeah, this is very sad as well. Sorry, Tony. Just curious if I didn't see your answer, but are you guys doing a domain, which is Scientology Life After a Cult? And I just got the obligatory do something better with your life. Not sure if you heard him very well, but he says he's done several things in here and they're good people. He likes them, right? And again, they are good people. I don't think that anybody's disputed that, right? Yeah, I don't know that anybody would say David Miscavige is a good person. There was a time in his life where I don't think people would say Mike Rinder was a good person. The people at the top that are the commanders, the directors, yeah, them I would be a little bit more worried about. But the people, when you walk in here, everybody is incredibly friendly, right? They've gone through all of the communication courses on how to, the bull baiting courses. So, and it's scary, right? The idea that person, is he going in for his pure rundown? Is he going in on course? I don't know. Correct. He was the short form of Richard in every way, shape, and form. Also, I don't know if you had heard me conversing with the college kids walking up, but they were given flyers today. And I did ask the one to email me anytime that happens so that we can help prevent them from continuing to hand those flyers out, or challenge their efforts and help people understand what's really going on there. So. Gotcha. So you've got a new email with that domain. Yeah, the day that the sign came down in Hollywood and the ladies had their show, it was Laura, Liz, Nora. They said that when they were in, if they would have been asked to go out and rip down that sign, they would have done it, especially if they were at a lower condition and needed that. So seeing a gold tie come up. Anytime you want out, just call the Aftermath. We'll help you out. Uh-huh. He's a college student. Yeah, your cult's here. They should probably market a little bit better. Have fun protecting the child abusers. Have fun protecting the rapists. I agree, you should be retired. It's just sad. That's the absolute correct thing to say, right? Churches should not protect rapists. Churches should not abuse the elderly. Notice how the tie covers up the gold. I'm sorry, his scarf covers up the gold tie. Have you been routed out already? Now, something that I'm going to say it's very disturbing to me. I don't know if anybody else is noticing this, but this is not a dead org. it was absolutely a dead org up in Lakeview. There were very few people, right? We saw some people coming in for classes, but uniformed, it was a handful of people. Whereas down here, and again, some of this might be a surge of Sea Orgs from different locations or locales. And again, I can't imagine Scientology is paying for parking in this building. So those might be staffers where they've got high-paying external jobs, or some Scientologist is being a benefactor to them. But the way that I hear Scientology is so stingy with their monies that they can't afford to keep housing these people in these expensive locations. Now, Jessica, I don't know that she's got a high-paying job, but she does work for the financial advisors down on the south side, and maybe she makes enough money that she can work an extra 40 hours a week and help save the world. And by save the world, I mean, how do we traffic more children? How do we cause more harm to the people who are forced to audit? How do we cause more harm through family dislocation? Disconnection. Yeah, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed, Lori. It's, I definitely hope that. I'll say that if you're, the other day when I was here, right, and you've got 9 or 10 young college-age kids who are new to the process, going into a room, going into the building and then coming out and going back to their colleges and dorms, that's new blood. So my hope was that we would get here and stop that kind of activity and behavior. Because again, I don't think that, I'm sorry, child trafficker, they make you go in this door. They always lock that one. They're welcome to everybody, but yeah, they can't let their members in. I have not, but that's, yeah, fresh meat, Mike. That is a good point. Hey, when do I show up for worship? Just asking them. Hey, thanks for coming in, Mexican. All right, that feels bad. Mexican long hair. I don't feel as a white male I'm allowed to say that.
Hey, you being on tape. Oh, they close the fucking
They always do.
window.
They have to work in the shadows.
Assholes.
That's right. Thank you. Thank you.
Motherfucker. I'm trying to get on a website where I can do a protest.
Nice.
If you find anything online, I'm there.
Excellent.
Asshole. I popped all the balloons last week.
Nice. I don't know if you heard what she was saying as she walked away. She popped all the balloons last week, which I'm going to go with, I assume was during the opening. Tony, Natalie, thank you so much for promoting the clips as I sent them over there. I hope you guys are enjoying them. Today, and I'll probably send Natalie this, but today I posted a short of the interview that Trashy had last week with the public, who claimed that the only reason that Scientology exists is to end wars and to stop drugs. And in that, I marked up what their record was, and they are 0-32 since 1955 in that process. Yeah, one of the things that I was most bolstered by was the idea that, right, the testing center in Hollywood, right, shut down. Now, granted, the narrative on Scientology side is we're renovating. It'll come back bigger and better. But even here, I want this shut down. I do love that we're able to keep the blinds closed. We're able to keep the doors closed. So the biggest advantage of retail space is that you would be able to publicize what's going on in there. And them bringing the shades down, it's, disservice to themselves. So. Are you curious about the cult? Do you know what this is? Yeah. Good luck. Spend all the money. That's another thing that I take a little bit of joy in is the people that walk by, like he walked by, I don't know if you saw 3 minutes ago, he had walked by to the south, and the people's embarrassment to be associated with this, right? And then eventually they have to kind of take the walk of shame back because they need to be on course or whatever the process is. They need to be on staff. They, the time clock is there in that process. 100%. And I'll give credit to as I walked back to the org after talking with the college kids, the one guy that, he was proud of what he was doing. He believed in it. But there have been so many that have walked by. I remember a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, I ended up following a person all the way around, and he went in the back door. And even at the back door, when I was there, he was a little bit hesitant to go in. There might be something to this that, right, the first 2 days I came out, I had the interactions with the Blue Star folk. I put up some bad reviews. I did hear other people putting up bad reviews. I had posted to their clientele what they were supporting. Now, yesterday, there was somebody here as security, and there's somebody in there right now as security, but this person had just a flak jacket with police on it. And I don't know if he is an actual policeman or if that was just, he got the cool Amazon police vest. So I don't know if they're still Blue Star or if they're independent or if they're actually off-duty police now. So. "100%. I know of no people that are involved in religion that wouldn't sing from the highest hills what advantages their religion has, or to profess that they're a part of that religion." Now there is another older woman heading in. Thank you. Thanks, Tony. Yeah, I do recall the read a book, right? And again, when I was a member of a church, I was very proud of what I was doing. And I don't have any bad words to say about that church. I was just very overcome by how much money goes through a church. And it didn't give me that warm, fuzzy feeling. So that's really why I left that. Thank you, my Tony. All right. I have client meetings this afternoon. I think we've been sufficiently disruptive here. Definitely appreciate everybody's time. Ellie, thank you so much for helping moderate. I have yet to see anything negative come through the commentary or anything spammy come through the commenting. So I assume that's all your good work. And it allows me to concentrate on trying to catch up to people or to take the video that I think is important. Thank you, MLH.
It's actually like that happens. You're just pushing money out, right?
All right. I am going to head back and do some client work. You all take care, and I will probably see you again tomorrow.